Hi, 7th graders. We're on lesson 8-1. Starts on page 416 in your textbook. We're splitting up 8-1 into 2 different days. So this is day 1, and we are going to simplify algebraic expressions using the distributive property. So when you look for your NICU quiz, it will say day 1 or part 1. I know that you know a little bit about the distributive property, so this might be a review. When we are simplifying an expression, we are performing operations to create an expression with less terms. So simplifying means that we want less terms. So if we look at 2 plus 3 plus 4, we can rewrite that as 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 equals 9. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is the same as 9. And 9 is obviously a more simplified version. Okay, if we look at 3 times 4 minus 1 minus 9, we can think way back to PEMDAS and know that we do our parentheses first. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So we would go 3 times 3 is 9 minus 9, and we get 0. So our simplified terms would be 9 and 0 for these two expressions. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is an expression. 3 times 4 minus 1 minus 9 is an expression. Now that we have 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9, now it is an equation, but our simplified version would be 9. Okay, so the difference is an expression does not have an equal sign, or an equation does. So like I said, we've already talked about the distributive property, and we know that if we look at 3 times 2 plus 7, we can rewrite it. So if you think way back to chapter 1, or when we discuss the distributive property, we know that we can distribute our 3 out to both of the numbers inside the parentheses. So our 3 would go with the 2 and with the 7. So we can write it then as 3 times 2 plus 3 times 7. So we get 6 plus 21, or 27. Okay, we can also use the distributive property to simplify algebraic expressions. An algebraic expression, so remember an expression does not have an equal sign. An algebraic expression has a letter or a variable in it. So 2 times x plus 3 is an example of an algebraic expression. 3 times 2 plus 7 is an example of an expression. It does not have a variable, therefore it is not an algebraic expression. So we would do the exact same thing. We would distribute our 2 out to the x and to the 3. So we would have 2 times x plus 2 times 3, and we get 2x plus 6. Okay, so if we want to use the distributive property to rewrite each of these expressions, first we would distribute our 4 out to the x and to the 7, which would be 4 times x plus 4 times 7. And then we would add 4x plus 28. This is our simplified version because we aren't told what x is, so then we would leave it as 4x plus 28. Now we can take in any number for x. So if we were going to say that x equals 2, then we can plug 2 into this equation. So we would have 4 times 2 plus 7. See how I'm just substituting 2 for x. And we would get, we know that 2 plus 7 is 9 times 4 is 36. Here we can rewrite 4x plus 28, and instead of an x we can put a 2. We get 4 times 2 is 8 plus 28 equals 36. So we know that these two are the same. 4 times x plus 7 is the same as 4x plus 28 because they equal the same thing when you put the same number in for x. But 4x plus 28 is our simplified version. Okay, the same would go if our number outside of the parentheses is on the other side. So normally our number would be on the left side and we distribute it out into the parentheses, but we would do the exact same thing. Our 5 would go into the 2 and with the 1. So then we would write it as, we can write it as y times 5 plus 2 times 5. And then we would have 5y plus 10. Okay, so I want you to take a second and pause me and solve these 3 problems. So our 6 would go out with the a and with the 4, so we would have 6a plus, or we'll go like this, 6a plus 6 times 4. So then we'd have 6a plus 24. We always remember, biggest mistake is to forget to multiply with the second number in the parentheses. So I would see 6a plus 4 a lot, but remember you always have to distribute that 6 out to both. So if it helps you to draw your arrows before you do it, oops, bad arrows, but that could help you too. Okay, so then we have, for this one, we would have n, I'm going to write it like this, 8 times n plus 24, because we have the 8 to go with the n and 8 to go with the 3, and then that would be our answer. So I'm getting ahead of myself to make sure that we understand. We have 8 times n plus 8 times 3, and then we get 8n plus 24. Okay, and then for this one, we would have negative 2 times x plus negative 2 times 1. So we have negative 2x plus negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus negative 2, and we could actually rewrite that then as negative 2x minus 2, because plus negative is the same as subtracting a positive. So negative 2x minus 2 would be our simplified answer. Okay, if we are subtracting, so I should say, let's go back to our addition. If we are adding, oh, I lost my work up there. If we are adding, we always keep our addition sign in our simplified form, except for this one that we switched out. So now if we're subtracting and we subtract it out, then we're going to keep our subtraction. So the same goes. We have 6 times p minus 5. We're going to distribute our 6 out with the p and out with the 5. Okay, but first we are going to rewrite p minus 5 as an addition problem to help us see more what we're distributing. So we know that p minus 5, you can see over here, p minus 5 is the same as p plus negative 5. And then I keep my 6. So now we can distribute out. We have 6 times p plus 6 times negative 5. That's using our distributive property. And then we have 6p plus negative 30. So then we would rewrite it as 6p minus 30, because plus negative is the same as subtracting the positive. Okay, so here we have negative 2 times x minus 8. We're going to rewrite our x minus 8, so it's x plus negative 8. And then we're going to distribute our negative 2 out. Remember, since it's a negative, our negative stays with our number as we distribute to each other number. So we have negative 2 times x plus negative 2 times negative 8. There's my negative 2 over here, my negative 2 that I'm distributing to each number in my parentheses. So then we have negative 2x plus 16. And that's our simplified version because negative times negative is positive. So then we end up with negative 2x plus 16. Okay, so now I would like you to pause me and do these three problems. So we have 3 times y plus negative 10. So then we would have 3 times y plus 3 times negative 10. So we would end up with 3y plus negative 30. So then our answer is going to be 3y minus 30. Okay, we have negative 7. We're going to rewrite it as negative 7 times w plus negative 4 because we're changing our subtraction into addition. We have negative 7 times w plus negative 7 times negative 4. So we have negative 7w. Negative 7 times negative 4 is 28, so plus 28, and that's our simplified form, so we're going to leave it like that. This time we have our negative 9 on the outside, so we look for the number that's alone, so we're going to distribute that one into n minus 2. Okay, but I'm going to rewrite it first. N plus negative 2 times negative 9. So then I would have negative 9 times n plus negative 9 times negative 2. So then we would have negative 9n, and then negative 9 times negative 2 is 18, so plus 18. So we'd have negative 9 plus 18. Okay, we're going to do a couple more. These ones have, this time these ones have coefficients, which are a number with a variable. So what we're going to do is we are going to do the same thing. We're going to distribute our number outside the parentheses to each variable and or number inside the parentheses. So here we would have negative 2, and then I'm going to rewrite this as 3y plus negative 8. So now I would have negative 2, and now I'm going to multiply it by the whole 3y plus negative 2 times negative 8. So negative 2 times 3y, negative 2 and 3 are like terms, so we can combine those. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and then we have our y's. So it's the same thing as going 3y times, if you think of it as a positive 2, 3y times 2 would be 3y plus 3y would be 6y, but since it's negative 2, then it makes it negative. Plus, and then we have negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16, so we have negative 6y plus 16. Okay, here we have, and hopefully you can do this with me, or you're already doing it on your notebook ahead of me and then checking as I go. So I'm going to distribute out my 5 because it's outside of the parentheses, and because inside the parentheses I have more than one term. So I would have 5x plus negative, let's rewrite this, 5 times x, actually let's go like this, x plus negative 11, and then I have my 5 outside, so now we have 5 times x plus negative 11 times 5. So 5x plus negative 55 plus negative is the same as adding or subtracting, so 5x minus 55. Okay, and then last one, negative 2, and then parentheses 5y minus 8. So negative 2, rewrite it as 5y plus negative 8. Then we have negative 2 times 5y plus negative 2 times negative 8. Went down to the other line. I'm trying to make it bigger here. So negative 2 times negative 8. So we have negative 10y plus negative 2 times negative 8 is 16. So negative 10y plus 16. So if we simplify it and we have adding a positive, then we keep it. If we simplify it and we're adding a negative, then we change it to subtracting a positive. Okay, make sure you go on to NICU and do the 8-1 quiz that is assigned to you. Have a super weekend.